Stroud be hiding an injury? I got an old clip to react to right now. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead. Your host, as always, Harley Dugan. This is The Lead Houston, where it's all Houston all the time. You're never going to find anybody with more passion speaking about your favorite Houston sports teams than this guy right here, Astros, Rockets, Texans. I try to do it all. So go down in that comment section. Let me know how y'all feeling, especially after we react to this together. How are y'all feeling about this rumor about CJ Stroud possibly being hurt? Stroud mentioned it very briefly, actually, in his post-game press conference after the Ravens game. And I know I probably should have reacted to this clip a lot sooner. Doing a lot of personal stuff, business, family, it's the holidays, man. I've been busy. So without further ado, appreciate all of y'all that wished us a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Likewise to y'all, man. Happy New Year's. It's coming up. Can't wait to explode into 2025 and do some big things for this channel. We got something cooking. So, and this is legit. I know I say that a lot, but this is legitimately, we got something brewing here on The Lead Houston. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for the notice to turn on. You're not going to want to miss any minute of the action. Let's get into this, man. We got Will Kunkel, friend of the show, friend of the channel, with Cody Stutes. Good little minute and a half clip where they do talk about CJ Stroud and whether or not this injury thing that he briefly mentioned, is there some truth to this? Is there more, chew to the bone here? Let's get into it. I'm interested because, and I don't want to make this an excuse. I don't. But I am, what they talk about is very interesting here. So let's get into it.
There was a very interesting moment in the press conference today. He said, were you in there for the CJ part? Were you in the locker room? Okay. He said, I'm not healthy, so I'm not making plays, and that's a terrible excuse.
Yep.
So that's the first time we've heard him admit that he's not healthy.
Yeah, probably not healthy because the offensive line can't block. They let him get smacked around.
He gets the crap kicked out of him.
He really does.
Consistently.
He really does. And
I mean, you know what? Superman for this kid right now? The fact he keeps getting up.
Yep.
Like, honestly, it's tough.
I worry that he's hiding something. If he's just gonna throw that in there and then just kind of back it off of it, I worry he's hiding something. He got sacked right before the 2-minute warning, and he was standing there, and that shoulder was dangling. It was not like, locked. Like, that shoulder was dangling. He still came out there, and this is a guy that first year in Ohio State, shoulder injury, randomly had a shoulder injury to begin the 2023 season. It was week 2. And he showed up on the injury report, and then you heard the stories about how he showed up at 4 a.m. to go through everything that he needed to go through to play that day against.
Played well, right?
Well, yeah, and they got their head kicked in by the Colts initially, and then he ended up throwing for 300-plus yards or whatever that day. Like, he's got a history of shoulder injuries, and then we see it dangling there, and then they kept putting him in the game. Like, he went back out there. Like, so I do worry about his health, and
that is very interesting stuff here from Cody Stutes and Will Kunkel. Check out Will Kunkel and Cody Stutes, man. They do some fantastic stuff. Cody Stutes you find on SNL, him and Locker. Fantastic content right there, and a bit eye-opening. I will say this, and I'm more of a no-nonsense kind of guy when it comes to this. If you're on the field, you're healthy. It is what it is. If you're on the field, you are healthy. If CJ Stroud is hurt, then get off the field. Don't play. If you're hurt, don't play, because it was pretty obvious he was not doing anything to help us win that game against the Baltimore Ravens. Not only was he missing throws, he just didn't look like himself out there. And we've already talked about it and harped on it so much, but it now questions, and we got fans questioning, CJ Stroud hurt? Because there's something about him that's very different this year. And yeah, you could talk about bad O-line play all you want. Last year, the O-line had 38 sacks against the Texans. And, when I checked before the Ravens game, they had 52. Now, yes, is that a discrepancy? Yes, there's, you got 14 more sacks right there. That's 14 more downs that are not being completed, at least. But not like the offensive line was just a monster last year. Like, yes, they played well, and they played decent enough to keep you in games and to have you beat teams that you probably shouldn't have beaten. And that's credit to the O-line, that's credit to the scheme, and that's credit to Bobby Slowick and CJ Stroud. I know fans don't want to hear that, but that's last year. This year just don't look the same. And I don't know whether it's not just fans trying to make an excuse. Well, are we making an excuse? CJ said that he's not trying to make an excuse, but why briefly bring that up? There's definitely something there, and it's definitely something that as fans and as the media members, the content guys that are here as well, behind the scenes in the locker rooms, it's something they're going to have to delve deep into, and it's going to be an off-season story. What happens with CJ Stroud and his shoulder? You hear Cody Stutes mention he's had shoulder issues before in the past. I'm hoping for the best here, but we don't want this to be something that's long-term. CJ Stroud this offseason has to get right. And ultimately, when you're looking at this upcoming game next week against the Tennessee Titans, if this is the case, I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't. And I know that I'm backtracking there because before I'm saying, no, they got to play. You put up 0 points, your ass is going to play in a meaningless game because you look like dog shit on Netflix on Christmas in front of the hoes and Beyonce. Like, no. But now, when you take a look at this and CJ mentioned this injury and you got people speculating and you seeing what Cody Stutes is saying and Will Kunkel is saying, you kind of wonder, it's a meaningless game anyway. I would rather see CJ Stroud rest up, get as healthy as he can for the playoffs. And look, I'm not saying we're going to do anything in the playoffs, but once you're in the dance, you just never know. And that's going to be my motto for the playoffs. It might be a one and done. Okay, it might. But just get me in the dance, right? Get me in the playoffs, and let's see what happens. Who knows? Well, I mean, I don't have much faith into what's going to happen for the future of this team and for the playoffs, but I'm a fan at the end of the day, and damn it, I'm always going to believe. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.